Morning everyone, my name's Joe. My call is Victor Echo 1 Bravo Whiskey Victor. What you're looking at this morning is just a quick review of some dual displays and Nextion displays on the UBITX transceiver. The firmware that actually is running this is made by KD8CEC, Dr. Ian Lee, and again it's using the Nextion display. This is a 3.2. The case for the transceiver is an old Radio Shack scanner, and I just refurbished it. I've gone over these many times, the different controls for up and down the band, for SDR, the VFO, that sort of stuff. And this is the 3.2. It's a good size display, believe it or not. And what we're looking at this morning is a 7-inch one that I've been working. Let me get a little closer here. And this is what it looks like. So pan back just a bit so you can see the two differences inside. 7-inch on the right. They are synchronized. I'll just show you that they're just in dual. Nothing, whatever you can do one side you can do on the other. If I call it up here, it'll show one thing. And if I call up on the other side here, I can bring up a different menu. But they're both full in control. So I'll bring this back to home here. Bring it back to the main menu. I can still leave this at another menu, but I'll bring it back home as well. Anyway, basically, the way they're connected to the UBITX is via serial. So it's only 2 wires, and since they're in serial, you can basically just parallel the inputs, and you're good to go. The power for the 7-inch, I've chosen to use a little adapter because it has higher current capability or requirements. Sorry. And this one is powered by the UBITX itself. But this one here is the one I've been working on with enhanced graphics, a little more colorful. Let's just have a look inside. This is one of the menus. These are some various functions. You can turn your display up, turn it down. This is temporarily, only when the power is on. If you use this one, it's when the power is turned off. It will still remember on the next time you turn it up or turn it on that that's the shading or the brilliance level that you want it at. And down below, these are timers. So if you put it on 3 minutes, after 3 minutes it goes blanks out. And again, these two displays can work completely independent as far as what you're looking at. So here we're looking at, as you see right now, the LCD display setup, and then here we're actually looking at the normal tuning area. So let's kind of try not to get too much movement here. It's a little hard when you move between 2 cameras, I guess. Anyway, I'll just bring this back to home. Same controls. If I move this, I can move the IFS, which is the shift frequency. And at the same time it's moving there, if you notice, I've got it at 860 at the bottom. And if you go over to the smaller display, it's also 860. So everything is duplicating and moving on the fly between both of them. The enhanced graphics here are just a little fancier, that's all. You can turn things off. You can switch your VFOs, and as I'm switching VFOs, you can see it switching back and forth. So, and as I tune on the VFO, you can hear that background. I'll go over to 40 meters, and let me look here and see if there's anybody around this morning. I just recently put the S meter in. Not a good time of day. It's 12 in the afternoon, so the bands are pretty quiet, of course. Let me see if there's something up on the E-cars, possibly. I'm just tuning by 100 segments, but I can, just to show you here, I'm over on the left-hand side right now, and if I change the band, you can see it change. It's, just pretty much instant. No delay of any sort. See if there's anybody out there. Nope, seems pretty quiet. So let's just go to 20 meters, and just see if there's anybody out there besides the digital modes, of course, are active. Let's see if we get any voice there. I got some long cables here. I'm surprised there's not noise. Oops, sorry about that. The band's pretty quiet. Very weak signals on 20 right now. 186. See if there's anybody else. Sound like somebody there.
Thank you. You Louisiana guys are putting in good signals this morning. So thanks for participating and enjoy the
Okay,
fourth.
I'm just going to move this a touch. And I'll show you all I can turn the IFS on or off. And I'm doing it from the other display. And I'll turn it on and I'll move this. And you'll see that this is moving. But I'm actually doing it on the small display.
Probably about a 5 and 8 Pennsylvania.
So all the main dial tuning type thing is normal.
Got to New Mexico. Thank you, K2M.
Turn that down. On the small display right now, I've tuned it to this other menu, but you can see that on the large display I've decided to leave it where it was. I could do the same thing, and you'd now see the exact same between the two displays. So you can display individually, or put this back at home here. Actually, I could have pushed the other one. Turn that down a touch. And if I go here, I'm using the stylus right now only because I can keep my fingers out of the way. But it's turning things off and on. Your splits. And if I go down here, I get to the sub-menu. And here I can say, look at factor resets. I can look at, I can read the configuration. There you go. It just read what my call sign was and the VFOs right from the UBITX. Another feature that Ian has put in there. So let's go down to home here again and go to the main control menu. We have the analog digital monitor. If I turn this on, it will monitor what these values are. So as the S meter changes, see it going up and down, and push to talk. So it'll give you an idea of how your systems and your buttons are behaving. So I'll bring this back to home. And spectrum tests. Some of these I haven't had time to enhance the graphics, but let me just stop it here. Go back again. This is the credits here. Of course, it was created by KD8CEC and myself, Alan and KN4UD and VE1BWV. We're working on the graphics here, and this is the version number. So I just go back to home. And meanwhile, while I'm doing this, I can still tune on the other side because the other display is exactly where I left it. So again, let me put the IFS on so you can pop these things up. And you can see it has the band, same as everywhere else. SDR, all the normal controls you can lock down. I've got a few more buttons here I want to enhance, but right now it works fine. And the buttons and everything else have all been kind of 3D look. Same thing with the menu here. What else? Read the unit. I think I already did this one. Yeah, UBITX config. If I go to here, this is where I can either tune up or down manually. I'll just go here so you can see it by the side here. Meanwhile, if you look at the main, the 3.2 on this on the UBITX, the small one, it's still exactly where I left it. However, the frequency that I'm changing on here is reflected. So I'll just tell it to go to let's see, upper sideband, enter. So I get the choice here. This is a keyboard area. If I go 7 or 3, I'll cancel it. If I hit the band button, if I go say 10, you see it's 10 there, 10.100, that's the default, sorry. And if you look on the actual 3.2 display, come on, focus in there, there you go, it's sitting at 10.100. If I change the band on this side, it went to 7246, and it immediately changed on the other display as well. You're not getting a little too dizzy here, but when you're moving back and forth, I'll go back to the main display. So there you have it. That's a 7-inch. It's in parallel. With the new software that Ian's come out, you'll be able to switch one off and switch one on. So there we go. Pan back a little bit. That's a 7-inch in parallel right now with the 3.2. And they're synchronized together. You can see me dialing back and forth. S meter and everything all seems working. Anyway, that's just a quick overview, I should say, of the 7-inch and the 3.2 Nextion display hooked up to the UBITX transceiver. The code for the 7-inch one will be released probably by the end of the week. I'm just tidying it up to make it a little bit better, but it certainly works well. 7-3, you have a great day. From VE1BWV.